Okay, once you have all 4 of your squares painted with the color schemes that you have selected, you are going to plan out how you are going to cut up and rearrange your design. So you're going to need to grab another square piece of paper to use as a template. One way that students sometimes will decide to cut up and rearrange their design is by folding. So maybe I want to have some diagonal folds. But you do want to have at least 3 cuts in your final one to meet the criteria. So what I might do is take and fold it in half each direction this way, and then I can even make some smaller triangles by folding it in half vertically. So maybe I would end up cutting on my cut lines here, so then I'd have 3 cuts, and I'd have some smaller triangles, and I'd have some larger triangles. Or if I wanted them all to be small triangles, I could go ahead and add an additional fold, so then I would have 4 cuts and end up with 8 pieces. Another thing you can do, besides folding, you can measure out and draw out your design. So maybe I wanted to create a stair-step design. What I could do is decide how far up I want to create the stair step, and this one that I'm going to create is actually going to be 3 inches up, and I measured, and this ruler is actually 1 inch wide, so I can start by going over and then measure down 1 inch, and then make a mark, and then I can line it back up, measure over, down 1 inch, same thing here, so over, down 1 inch. So now I have my stagger here, and I can do the same thing on the other side. Or if you ever want to repeat a design, what you can do is actually cut that piece out. So if I want to make sure this is perfectly symmetrical, I could take and cut out my stair-step design that I just drew out. And I could take and I could rotate it or flip it, and I could trace it on the other side. So let's see, it's here. Let's go ahead and rotate it, line it right up. Oops. I want to make sure it's not moving on me. And then I could take and cut this one out. And then I could find a new sheet of paper, set this down, and retrace it. So I have my whole template now. Making sure my lines are right where I want them to be. Okay, so that would be my, if I wanted to do a stair-step design. I could also take and just do straight stripes. So this is a 5-inch piece of paper. So if I take and measure out where the 1 is, the 2, the 3, and the 4, and I do the same thing at the bottom, line it up with a 0 and a 5, and then make a mark at 1, 2, 3, 4. I could take and just draw a nice straight line between those. So I could have stripes for my cut up design. I could even take and draw wavy lines. Might be a little hard to see here, but I have a wavy line going this way, wavy line going that way. I could have vertical wavy lines. Really, this is a chance for you to get creative and to make your piece look different from everybody else. So what I have done in the past is I took and I made my pieces so they were diagonal stripes. So I'm going to use that template again so you can kind of see how I came up with my final product.